Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Somerville Licensing Commission for March 18th, 2025. Start time is 6 p.m. To my left is Commissioner Jack Thomas. To my right is Commissioner Chris Allen. I'm Joe Lynch, and Chair. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting of the Licensing Commission may be conducted via remote participation. We will post an audio recording, audio-video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of these proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting on the City of Somerville website. Good evening, Commissioners. Also joining us is Michael Potier, Operations Manager, and our liaisons from the Somerville Police Department, Captain Sheehan and Sergeant Isidoro, I think, is on the call, and our liaison to the Fire Department, Captain Richardson. First item on the agenda. We ready to go, Commissioners?
Ready.
First item on the agenda is the communications minutes of the regular licensing commission meeting of 2/18/2025. Comments, edits?
None.
Commissioner Allen would like to.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All three commissioners in the affirmative. Item number 2, the city clerk is conveying proposed changes to section 1.08K of the Somerville Licensing Commission rules and regs to reflect an update to the Massachusetts general laws. Commissioners, if you remember last year, we had an update from the from the state and the ABCC telling us which forms of identification are acceptable. I'm going to turn this over to Michael Potier so he can explain to us. We have it in our packet, the update to that law. Michael, take it away.
Mr. Chair, through you, the full text is also available on the Licensing Commission website. As you mentioned last year, the state expanded state law to increase the number and types of identifications that would be acceptable to prove that you are over the age of 21. This rule change cites directly to the statute, so if there are future changes, our city rules will automatically be current.
So if I'm correct, they added some additional types of documents which are proof of age: a valid driver's license issued by another state and global entry card issued by United States Customs and Border Protection.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right. Do our liaisons at police department have this as well, just so they know? Can we send it to them?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a copy of it.
Thank you very much. Okay, communications received. Any questions? Commissioner?
No questions, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner?
None.
No questions. Communication received, placed on file.
Mr. Chair, through you, would you want to take a vote on the change to the rule?
We can? Accepting the rule change. Do I have to cite it, Michael?
No, you do not. You already read it into the record.
Read into the record, accepting the rule change as read into the record. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All three commissioners in the affirmative. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Item number 3. This is a violation. Item number 3. This is a continuance from February 18th, 2025. This is the hearing for Galwigan Inc., DBA The Burren, 247 Elm Street. AL 17037, pursuant to Mass General laws. Michael, do I have to read the whole thing again?
You do not, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. So is the applicant, license holder, or their attorney present?
Mr. Chair, through you, I do see their attorney. One of them just put their hand down. And all right, I see a few. Hold on. All right, both are unmuted on our end.
Great. Can you hear me all right?
If you could speak up just a little bit and identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, my name's Dennis Quilty, excuse me, an attorney at McDermott, Quilty, Miller and Hanley in Boston. And I'm representing Galwigan, the licensee, at the hearing this evening. I just want to make sure you can hear me, and I don't know whether you can see me or I need to be seen, but I don't see myself, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, Michael, why don't we see if we can get Attorney Quilty on, I'd prefer, in disciplinary hearings, I'd prefer to see them.
Mr. Chair, through you, I just attempted to promote to panelist. Attorney Quilty, you should now be able to turn your camera on. We don't yet see you.
Now, There it is.
There it is. We do now see you.
Thank you very much.
Much.
Attorney Quilty, do we have another rep from Galwegian or the Borough, or is?
Yes, we should have, first of all, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, members of the police department. I have with me tonight the owner-operator, Tommy McCarthy, Joanne Conroy, who is one of the managers of the establishment, and Sean, I'm gonna kill his last name, Walker McCann, who was present on the night in question and interacted with the individuals involved on the night in question. And I think my associate Ryan Gosda may be on. I don't really expect, I think he was just gonna listen in, so Mr. McCarthy, Ms. Conroy, and Mr. Walker McCann would be potentially testifying as needed.
Great. Let's open it up this way. Attorney Quilty, good to see you. I know that you always appear on video when you're at Boston licensing, so it's good to see you here at Somerville licensing on
Thank you
video.
for having me.
So what I'd like to do is establish kind of a ground rule here. Are you going to be speaking on behalf of your client? And then if we have questions directly for them, we'll address them directly.
Mr. Chair, I mean, whichever way the board considers it, if there's, you know, a police testimony, I'd like to just have the opportunity to question the captain or whoever's going to read the reports.
Sure.
And I have Mr. Walker McCann is a very prescient witness. He was in the room and actually observed, and I think actually turned over the perpetrator to the police that night.
Okay.
Mr. McCarthy would just like to be heard as to his business practices. I will say we're a little bit at odds here as to how to handle these 91 individual calls that seem to have been made.
Well,
So I
we'll
don't know
help, we'll help
how
you with
those are gonna
that.
be presented.
Yeah, Attorney Quilty, we'll help you with that because some of them, as you see in the descriptor, but let's do this. Let me just ask a couple of pointed questions. Is your client aware of why this show cause hearing has been called?
I mean, according to the notice we received, it's concerning an incident on January 10th.
Okay.
Of which we have the police reports, and it also indicates that the 91 incidents, if you will, or circumstances on the incident search results are going to be taken into consideration, and I would have to state an objection to those items coming in for the simple reason that the licensee, if the licensee is to defend himself, the Rule 109A last sentence suggests that the licensee will be held accountable for all violations that are related to the premises to determine whether or not the licensee acted properly in the given circumstances.
Understood.
I'd submit to you that it would be near impossible for us to determine whether or not he acted properly because we have no information on
All right.
these 91 other than.
Yeah, it's not, Attorney Quilty, it's not my intention to delve into all 91 incidents. What we're trying to do is call attention to the fact that there have been multiple incidents since last year that are causing this commission to have concerns over a number of different things that are happening at the borough. So tonight is Mr. McCarthy's chance to speak with us. It's your opportunity to say whether or not we're overreacting to this, but what I'd like to make sure is that Mr. McCarthy and his employees and you are well aware that this is not the first incident that has come to the attention of the licensing commission. So we want to try to not drag this out tonight, but the borough has been in operation for many years here in Somerville. It is an esteemed establishment. It gets all kinds of good press. And the last thing that we want to do is to give it some tarnish. But there are clearly to us, there are things that are happening that need someone in management to pay attention to. Okay? So I'm gonna ask before we hear further from you or from anyone from the borough, I'm gonna ask Captain Sheehan, who's on the call. Captain Sheehan, the police report that we have in front of us was for an incident that took place. Michael, help me, sometimes I get the dates wrong on these things. January 10th?
Mr. Shirley, that is what I have, yes.
January 10th. It looks like 11:30 at night. There was a patrol. They were called as a result of an altercation. One of the parties was the victim of an assault with a glass bottle and transported to Mass General Hospital. The assailant, the alleged assailant, was also transported for treatment. So that rises to the top. This isn't, someone shoved someone and, there was an altercation and the bartender took care of it or the wait staff took care of it. Attorney Quilty, this is where there was an assault with a weapon, a beer bottle. 2 people wound up going to the hospital to be treated. That rises to our attention. So what I'd like to be able to do is probably hear from Captain Sheehan or anybody who wants to address the report. We have the report. We don't have to go into it. There was an investigation. Anything you want to say on it, Captain Sheehan or Sergeant Isidoro?
No, I think the reports kind of speak for themselves. I will add that I spoke with both officers involved, one of which was a detective who followed up at the hospital. The injuries to the young man to his head were very serious, and the individual who was charged, he was treated for a laceration on his hand. He was arrested, charged with a felony, and as of today, they've asked for discovery, but there's been a preliminary hearing, but no court or trial date has been set as of yet. So this is still going forward.
Okay. I'll just caution the commissioner, since it's an active investigation, we're not going to ask anything about the assailant. Okay? We have what we need in front of us on the report. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, could I just ask the captain a question?
Yes, sir.
Captain, I've read the reports, and I think the good news is all the names have been redacted, so we don't have the names of the individuals. And I know it's an ongoing matter, and we certainly will cooperate with anything that can be done in furtherance of the case. I'm just looking at the report authored by Officer, or I think it's Detective McCune. On the front page, he's called, McCune. And his report, the bottom of page 2, suggests at this point, this is after the person was struck, he was rendered medical aid by employees of the borough and his friends. We have the names of the 2 individuals. I don't know whether you, Captain, were aware or the board is aware that the licensee employees assisted this individual, and it was a member of the licensee staff, Mr. McEwen, who I introduced earlier, who pointed out the assailant, found the assailant in the men's room. The assailant was on the phone calling 911 for his own injuries, and our staff at that point took him outside and turned him over to the Somerville police, who had already arrived at the front of the building. So just wanted to know, Captain, were you aware that the employees of the establishment assisted your officers in their performance of their duties that night?
Yes, from my understanding and speaking with the officer, that was the information that was relayed to him from the victim. He did put in his report, he was aware of it, yes.
We also can read that, Attorney Quilty, that employees of the borough and his friends. So we understand the employees of the borough were assisting this person. That is good, at least they didn't just put him out on the sidewalk. But my question is, so let's go to the meat of the matter. Somebody does not smash a beer bottle over somebody else's head as a normal behavior. So if you want, we can hear from the person who was in attendance that night? And whether or not, and we have a couple of questions for
The staff people, you would like to hear from them? I'm happy to. put
Yes,
them on right
please.
now.
Yep,
Thank you. Sean, could you please, I don't know whether he's on.
Yeah,
screen.
I'm
I
here,
can't
I'm
hear.
here. Sean
There
here.
he is. And Sean, can you operate your camera or?
I'll promote him to.
yeah.
Thank you.
One moment, Sean, I just promoted you to a panelist. You should now be able to turn your camera on.
Okay, we've got you, Sean.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right, Sean, if you could state your name for the record, please.
Sean O'Cormacan.
And Sean, you work for Galwegian Inc., DBA The Barn.
Yes,
And what is your position in the barn?
I'm the backroom manager
Backroom manager.
and bartender. And bartender.
And how long have you been with the barn?
I've been there 10 years now.
Okay, great, thank you. Are you a bartender at the back room or manager?
I do both.
Both.
Yes.
Okay, and you were present on the night of the incident that we're describing?
Yes,
And in your estimation, Sean, if you've worked in serving alcohol, would it be your judgment that both of those people at 11:30 at night were somewhat inebriated, a lot inebriated, or not at all?
not at all.
Okay,
To me, it didn't seem like either one were inebriated.
okay. Okay. Were either party known to each other, or were they just strangers?
I couldn't really, I didn't know anything really about the incident. I didn't have enough time to talk to them, so I couldn't really know that.
Okay, okay, were they with a crowd of, it indicates in the report that other friends tended to one of the victims here.
There seemed to be about 2 or 3 people I noticed that were with the victim. Yes,
Okay, and this was all in the back room, not up front.
yes, all in the background.
Okay, were there musicians playing that night?
Yes, there was music on.
Music was on.
Yeah.
11:30 at night, music's on, something happens, someone gets a beer bottle smashed over his head. 2 people wind up in the hospital. Were you one of the employees that assisted either the victim or the assailant?
Yes,
Okay, all right. All right, we're gonna stick with this incident. So I'm trying to establish where it was, how it happened, who had responsibility for what. Are there any other questions, Commissioner Allen, that you might have of either Attorney Quilty or Sean from the Burn?
Yeah, one question for you, Sean. Was the venue at capacity for the evening?
yes. Or it was definitely below capacity because we've 2 door guys at the front who watched that as well, and I watched the back as well.
Fair, but I mean, below capacity or at capacity?
Oh, it was below capacity.
Below capacity, okay. Nothing else currently.
Okay, Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sean, quick question, level of security, that particular night, if you recall?
Yes, we have 5 security guards on. We've 2.
No further question.
Okay, Sean, in the matter of, a Friday night, Saturday night, when it gets really hopping down there, because I've been in, almost every bar in the city, and from bars from Tralee to Dublin, from Waterford to Sligo. On a regular night, how many security folks do you have within the complex?
On a Friday night, we'd have 5.
5.
Yeah.
And Michael, if you could confirm for me, this was a Friday night? Friday night, 11:30, January 10th.
I believe that's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right. So Sean, do you keep a record when there is an altercation within the address, within the borough?
We would write a report, yes.
And do you have a report for the night that we're talking about?
I'm sure there's a record, yeah.
Okay. All right. When that happens, Sean, do you have a general manager that you report that to? or does that go directly to Mr. McCarthy? How does it work that Mr.
So-
McCarthy is not always present at the establishment? How does he know what's going on?
So at the end of the night, we'd write up, it's a report that gives a report of the whole night, and we'd send it on. It gets CC'd to all the managers and the owner.
And the owner, okay? All right, any other questions here?
Yeah, do you keep a system or any mechanism for keeping track of band patrons?
Sorry?
How do you keep track of people who are banned from your establishment?
It'd just be up to the security and the bartenders at that stage.
They would just need to know, hey, I know that guy, he's not supposed to be here.
Yeah, well, we'd at the end of the night, we'd all discuss it, and we'd make sure all the other managers know as well.
Okay.
do-
How do they know that, Sean? You got pictures up on a mirror or something, or how do the security guards know?
If there's an incident, and we have to bar someone, we'd let them know when they're walking out. So
Right.
it'd be by face.
Facial recognition, but what if you hire a new security guard? I'm just trying to figure out, does management have enough in place where they can establish policies within the burn to say, here's a troublemaker, here's his picture, put it up on the mirror, right? And any new security guard or any of the oldest security guards will know that that person is not supposed to be in the burn because of previous behavior. I'm trying to figure that one.
We don't really have a lot of people barred, but we don't have something in operation at the moment like that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Attorney Quilty, the night in
Yes.
question, 2 people got hospitalized. We understand that the burn staff, it appears as though the burn staff reacted responsibly to that, by assisting, calling the police, or somebody else called the police, and then the burn called the police. Anything else you want to say about this incident itself?
I would like to say that it was Mr. I know he's gone, it was Sean, who just testified, is the person who discovered the perpetrator in the men's room, took the perpetrator outside and basically turned him over to Somerville police. His 2 security guards who were on duty on that night, Dave Linehan and Sean Sutherland, were the 2 individuals who assisted the person who was hurt and made sure that he was brought out to the first responders who were in the front of the building. So in that context, I think they did what they were supposed to do in the circumstances. I think we have a situation where this is like in the nature of a sucker punch. Nobody actually saw the incident happen until somebody was on the floor bleeding, and it was obvious somebody was hit. But nobody saw the actual incident itself, and there was apparently nothing that led up to it that could have indicated to the establishment that something was going to go haywire. But indeed it did. And when it did,
Got it.
I think they stepped in and did the responsible things in terms of helping the police, helping the victims, et cetera. And I do think, Mr. Chairman, that Mr. McCarthy is probably the better person to ask about mechanisms for barring individuals and the like. And he will testify that he is the person who reviews the notes after an incident, and keeps that kind of an internal record for the establishment.
Okay, hold on one second, Michael.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
Captain Sheehan does have a hand raised.
Okay, Captain Sheehan.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Sean, I just wanted to ask one question. Are there any cameras internally in the bar?
Yes, there is, yes.
Are there any in the back room?
Yes, there's 1 camera in the back room.
Okay, did an officer call looking to get footage? Do you know?
Yeah, someone called looking about footage.
And your response?
Hi, I'm Joanne Conroy. I'm here with Sean.
Hi.
So I spoke to the officer, we reviewed the footage and absolutely nothing showed on the camera. And
Did
it's
he review the footage with you?
no.
So you reviewed the footage and told him there was nothing on the footage?
Correct.
Okay.
Right, if I could just give one bit of elaboration, we do have the email record of this. It's 2.5 days later, on January 13th, Detective Faria reached out asking if there was any video of the incident. Ms. Conroy reviewed all of the film, responded back immediately that same day, saying that unfortunately nothing was captured. If you have any other questions or we can be of assistance, please let me know. My direct number is, I'll be in the barn all day tomorrow as well.
Great. Let me
so-
put a pin in that, Attorney Quilty, for 1 second. Captain Sheehan, this was a assault. Is it customary for SPD to ask for the video, to ask for them to review the video?
Yes, it would be customary for the detective. This is a very serious assault. So it would be customary, if possible, to have the detective view it with the establishment and make a determination as to whether they want to pull the video for evidentiary purposes. And it might not be the actual assault. It might be the assailant leaving the building. It might be the assailant going to another portion of the building. That's all evidence to us. If we have to, if it does go to trial. So
Okay, I want to stay away. This commission doesn't want to get involved in the criminal side of things. What I'm trying to establish, and I think what Commissioner Allen was trying to establish, is that video would have been very helpful to SPD to look at and then share with the licensing commission, because we would have been able to kind of look at, was it really crowded? Were there a bunch of people bumping each other? Was there a lot of dancing going on in the back room, which could have caused somebody to get an elbow to the gut, which resulted in an assault? So I just wanted to make sure. So there is no video evidence of this assault. There's nothing we can look at. We have to take not Sean Sheehan, not Captain Sean. We have to take Sean's word that it wasn't mayhem in the back bar that night. No one saw why this person got assaulted, but the Burn staff assisted SPD in their initial investigation, also assisted the victim. So I'm trying to encapsulate what happened that night and whether or not this rises to negligence on the part of the license holder. Commissioner Allen, does that where you were going with how crowded was it in the back room?
Exactly, trying to get a feel for the conditions,
Okay.
see if they're exacerbating
Okay.
factors there that could be addressed by the establishment.
All right. Attorney Quilty,
Yes,
here's
sir.
why I've asked for the show cause hearing. As you know, you do this for a living. You represent a lot of licensees, not only here in Somerville, but right across the greater Boston area. Just want to give you some things that are in front of us. In 2022 and 2023, the Attorney General notified this commission that Michael, it's, what is it called? The point of last consumption?
That's correct, Mr. Chair. The OUI report for the last drink.
The OUI reports for the last drink. And this is where someone who's pulled over for OUI cites the borough as the last place they had a drink. We get those reports. 1 in 22 and 1 in 23. In September of 23, there was a finding by, Michael, if you could just, again, for that 9/21/23.
Mr. Chair, through you, on the 21st of September in 2023, the ABCC initiated a hearing against the Burn for underage service for serving a person under the age of 21. There was a decision in that, and a violation was confirmed on September 16th of 2024, also by the ABCC.
And in lieu of actual altering the license, the defendant, or the borough in this case, paid a fine of $35,800 to the ABCC.
Mr. Chair, that's correct. It was originally a 25-day suspension that was reduced at the request of the Burn to $35,800.
That was in September of 24. Here we are in 25, not even through the first quarter. and it's come in front of the licensing commission again with this assault in January. So Attorney Quilty, I know you understand we're trying to do our due diligence. We're not here to close down any licensee. Our responsibility is to make sure that they are handling the license responsibly. So with all that said, we also have the call reports that have been produced by the Somerville Police Department. And 91 calls. What is Commissioner Allen, what is the time frame in that? What are the parameters
That
before we
was-
start talking about it?
2 years.
Let me get you the details on that. I also wanted to point out that we had in the November licensing commission meeting, the request from the Somerville Police Department asking for a police detail to be assigned to the borough during peak holiday hours, citing that it was a disproportionate number of their calls during peak hours. So this is not coming out of a void. This is coming from the Somerville Police Department already indicating to us that this was a known issue of police presence being required at the borough.
And Attorney Quilty, we're not gonna consider in these 91 calls, we're not gonna consider, you know, a call coming from the borough staff saying, we got an unwanted person in here. That's them acting responsibly. But when I look at the report, Attorney Quilty, and we have so many calls from medical aid. I mean, I didn't know the borough was a drop-in center clinic. I mean, medical aid can indicate a lot of things, that there's a lot of ill people going into the borough, or they're being overserved in the borough. And that's causing medical aid calls to come in.
Well, I think there are lots of reasons why someone could make a medical aid call, but I'm glad you picked on that one. Because of the 91 incidents, the highest number is 13, and that's medical aid. This is over a period of 24 months. That's what, like I mean, once a month maybe, or less, half that.
Yeah,
If you look at
I'm not
this
sure.
list- if you
I'm
look at
not
this
sure your
list, they're
counting
called-
is correct. I'm seeing a lot more than,
Well, I'm not a mathematician, but I counted them by hand. I've got 13 medical aid. I've got 5 assists. Half of these, we have no idea what they are.
yeah,
And
we
one
we
liquor
do.
violation.
Yeah, we
One
know,
liquor
we know what
violation.
they're for, Attorney Quilty. When we
What I
see
mean is they could
things,
be for anything. Somebody walking by and something happens. There's an automobile accident on here, found property,
yeah,
lost
well,
property.
Attorney Quilty,
road
we've
rage.
discounted those because we know what those things are. So we know when SPD is called for a certain address, we know enough that that might not involve the borough at all. That could be somebody who tripped and fell on the sidewalk in front of the borough, and it has nothing to do with it. But we've already discounted a lot of these 91s, you know, fire alarm and
Right.
if we cannot determine that something happened within the confines of the borough, we discount it. So what I'm trying to get across though, something is going on at the borough, and that has caused the borough to be here tonight. So what I would like to do is honor your request to hear from Mr. McCarthy. If he's
Yes.
willing to talk to the commission, I think, you know, out of respect for Tommy, he's been a staple of this community. Tommy, the floor is yours if you wanna address us.
Hello, I'm Tommy McCarthy.
Thank you. Tom, can you help us to help you here in my Jerry Maguire moment? We don't take these things lightly, but the public needs to understand why are the police always in front of the borough? Well, I mean, help me understand it, Tom.
Well, as Sean mentioned there earlier on, we have a format in place where every night they write a report about the day and the night, which consists of, you know, it could be cash was correct, the music was good, maybe food would be mentioned, but I can send you the reports for the last 2 years, but I honestly don't ever see that police were called or were inside the premises. So I'm not really sure. Is this something that's happening out in the street? As I said, I can send you the reports, but I don't recall from reading all the reports every morning that there's police inside the borough for an incident. Apart from,
So Tom, I'm sorry to interrupt you. When somebody gets assaulted within the borough, you would have a report for that night, right? January 10th? Somebody wrote a report and sent it over to you and said, we had an assault, the police were called, they were inside here. The assailant and the victim were taken to the hospital. Do you have that report?
yeah, it would have been part of the email we would have received. But I was here that night. I was in the front bar performing, so I was leaving around the same time, and that's when I saw the police officers outside.
Okay, all right. So you were actually a witness to the aftermath of this thing.
Yeah, well, it was kind of, I just came outside, I didn't know what was going on, and I said to one of the doormates, what happened? And he just said, oh, there was an incident in the back room, and it was kind of at the end of what was going on, you know. So I got the report the next day off Joanne, or when the email was sent out in the morning, you know. I was on my way home.
All right, and tell me, how much training do your bartenders and wait staff go through in terms of recognizing if somebody's had too much, shut them off?
Well, we have three managers here. Brendan Quirk, who's been with us for 20 years. He lives in Somerville. Sean Cormacan, who's been with us for 10 years. And Kristen Fortio, who worked at Johnny D's and came here when that place closed. So, I mean, I couldn't praise them enough for being alert and taking care of the place and watching out for the people you don't want in here, you know.
I got it. All right, Commissioner Thomas, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Allen?
So you mentioned keeping people out who you don't want there. If somebody is kicked out, not necessarily banned, just kicked out for the night, like, does that show up in these reports the next day? We asked 2 people to leave the premises.
If there was somebody asked to leave the premises, yeah, it would be in the report. But I mean, as I said earlier on, I can send these reports to you, but this very rarely ever is in the report. Because if it was, there'd be a meeting here the next day. I mean, obviously I care about my business, but it's not something I read. Never really, to be honest. I'm very proud of what we've achieved here, and I think we run an excellent premises.
And just one more follow-up there, like, do you keep a list of patrons who have been expelled and are not allowed back in? Is there a way, like, beyond you knowing it, that people at the front know how to keep track of that?
Well, Sean and Brendan and Joanne and Kristen would know if there was a person in the area, or, you know, something you didn't want, or, you know, I mean, they discussed it amongst themselves. You know, I'm not here at nighttime that often, so, but I mean, I'm clued in, obviously, to what's going on here every day, you know. I mean, it's not really a concern as far as someone coming in here on a regular basis that's a troublemaker. We just don't have them type of people here. Most people come here just for the fun and love for the music, you know. I mean, it's unfortunate that these 2 guys, whatever happened between them, but like, it was handled the best way it could. It was just an unfortunate situation, you know. But I mean, I was here that night performing. Everybody was happy. Everybody was having a good time. And it was just unfortunate that these 2 lads, whatever happened between them, took amongst themselves to one guy hitting another guy, apparently, you know, with a bottle or a glass or whatever it was, you know. It's not what the borough's about. I think we all know that.
Did you get the notice from the licensing commission's November meeting requesting you to ask for a police detail over the holiday season?
Yes.
Yeah, Joanne handled that, yeah.
Yeah, we called and requested them. I don't know if it was any night that they showed up, but we requested them.
Fair enough. I guess when you received that, did you have any follow-up in terms of why you had been asked to do that? If there was any systematic issue? Did you have any follow-up on that beyond requesting the details?
Wasn't it for all of Somerville, was it? For 2 o'clock license?
No, this was a request only for the borough at the November licensing commission meeting raised by the Somerville Police Department.
Okay, sorry, I thought it was for the, or any bar with the 2 o'clock license in Somerville.
Okay,
That's why I didn't, didn't say anything about it.
oh, no further questions.
Thank you. And we all set?
I am also, Mr. Chair. Yes.
All right, I'm finding on this one incident, what I am finding is that the borough personnel acted appropriately. What disturbs me is the sheer number of things that have been happening since 2022. The Attorney General notifying us that the borough was on their radar list. The ABCC notifying us in 2023 and 2024, they're on the radar list. The Somerville Police Department elevating it to us saying there's something happening. There's a certain number of calls that are coming in. There are disturbances, there are fights. We see the description here. I have a question for Captain Sheehan before I go on, and then I'll be quiet. Captain Sheehan, what's the difference in the way SPD gives the descriptor? Sometimes I'm seeing fight and sometimes I'm seeing dispute.
It depends on, if if they're actually physically fighting, or if it's just more of a yelling back and forth, a dispute, sort of, two people yelling at each other in the street would be classified as a dispute. But if there's fisticuffs, if there are actual physical assault and batteries, then they would classify it as a fight.
Got it. I knew Captain Sheehan was going to use that word, fisticuffs. I was going to use it first there, Sean, but all right. All right, so there we are. State agencies, SPD and Somerville Licensing Commission is here to help the borough so that you stay off of our radar. Tommy, what assurances can you give us moving forward that we're not going to have to call you back in here? I mean, you run a good shop. You've got well-trained and longtime employees. They did the right thing in this incident. But you're on the radar here. What else can we do? I think Tommy McCarthy.
I mean, I couldn't ask for a more excellent crew here. I mean, we do our best, and we, as I said, I'm still a bit confused as when you say there's an alteration outside, are people shouting at each other or people having a fight? I'm not too, I don't know what's the breakdown on that,
Yeah, we can't blame you for everything that happens in front of your address. We can't.
But as far as anyone having a punch up inside the door here of the borough, I mean, it never happens.
Okay. The only other thing I was looking at was the time for a lot of these incidents. And it's very clear that the later you go into the night or into the early morning hours, the more people have to drink, the more calls you're going to get. So, commissioners, your thoughts on how we dispose of this tonight?
I would agree with you that I think they behaved correctly in this incident.
They meaning the borough and staff.
The borough. My thought there is just that I think that the feeling that I'm getting is that it's too rowdy. And when it's too rowdy, these random freak occurrences go from being a 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 100. You're making your odds bad. Like my question, like what I'm looking for is serious proactive management of these things such that we are not hearing again from the police department about this. We can easily pay a close eye on the reports on a go forward basis to see which ones are applicable and like put a lot of scrutiny on those. So I think some sort of suspended action would be suitable in my view.
Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I think one of the things that can explain the correlation between the number of issues we're seeing at the borough is just the sheer popularity of the establishment. People come from all over. It's a phenomenal place. They rave about it. So that can explain just a high number of issues. I've seen the bottle movie before at clubs. The only concerns I have is that Sean's saying that not at all. At 11:30 at night at the burn, I find that hard to believe, not at all, that there was no alcohol involved in the decision to crack a bottle over somebody's head. The second big problem I have personally myself is just it doesn't matter, but the non-commitment to hand over the video for review, because I believe the video would have shown the police exactly what they wanted to see, which was nothing. And that wasn't given, or that opportunity wasn't provided, and that's the big issue I have with this incident. It's just that, other than that, I have no further statements, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Attorney Quilty,
Yes, sir.
closing arguments here.
If I may, I mean, I'm a little bit, I kind of don't know where to start. I mean, you've got the Attorney General reports twice in 2 years. As you all know, that's somebody telling the police that that's where they were. That's nobody proving that anybody was indeed at his establishment. That's somebody on the highway somewhere saying, oh yeah, I was at so-and-so. I mean, these reports are handled, every bar in Greater Boston has a half a dozen of these every year or two. I mean, there's an ABCC case. He was punished for that. He was punished for the ABCC. I am told, and I don't know, you do, this may be the first time he's ever been called in front of the Somerville Licensing Commission for a violation of his license in 30 years. 30 years. I don't have any clients that have that good a track record, I'll tell you that. And with regard to the last commissioner speaking about the video, I mean, the detective asked about it. She answered his question. There was not one follow-up to say, bring it down, give it to me, nothing. That thing was available for anybody. It was never asked for. Nobody asked for it until almost 60 days later when we got the notice from the court. And in 30 days, the machine runs over itself. So there was nothing to give anyone. But it could have been given to any member of the Somerville Police Department on January 13th, 3 days after the incident, and nobody asked for it. I mean, that's not our fault. That's just not our fault. You know, if Mr. McCarthy, with his 30 years background and his staff, who I think acted heroically on the night in question, helping this person, pointing out the perp to the police, they did everything a licensee should do. Why should they be punished for doing everything a licensee should do? I mean, if you say to Mr. McCarthy, let's retrain, let's strengthen procedures, I mean, he's happy to comply. This is a well respected, as you know, commissioners, you know, member of the community in Somerville. The Burn is a highly regarded establishment. Look, this incident is awful, and I think this incident tipped off this other list of the 97 things over 2 years, you know, some of which are, I mean, you know, auto accidents and lost items and stuff that has nothing to do with him. But, you know, we understand as a licensee, he's responsible to keep the area in and around his premises safe. We think he's done so over 30 years. We certainly hope that he doesn't get punished for doing the right thing on the incident that put him here before you tonight.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty.
Thank
I'm
you
going
for
to
your
address a
time.
couple of things that you said. We have no other, I've been doing this for 8 years, going on 9 years here in the city. And in my memory, we have not been noticed once by the Attorney General, by any of our 200 and something odd licensees that were convicted of OUI and cited any of our other restaurants or bars. So I'm just going to do a point by point, Dennis. We've known each other for many years, and
Understood.
I've
It's
watched
not
you.
the AG saying that, by the way. It's
And
some
the
guy got
AG,
arrested saying that.
I don't litigate what the AG is saying in terms of, you know, what they put in their reports to us. I take it on face value. that the AG and the prosecutors and the defenders have done their job. What they are saying to us is that this person was convicted and that was the bar they were at. That's the report that we get. So it is not a case of where these other 91 entered into our radar after that incident in January. This came up last year because we were getting reports not only from SPD, but from a couple of counselors who had concerns about the number of incidents that were taking place in the burn. So if I don't have it in front of me, Dennis, it didn't happen. What I'm trying to work out is it's now accelerated to the point where there was an assault. And if somebody's taking their eye off the ball down there, Tom needs to know about it. He needs to correct it so that he's never back in front of us again. However, I'll take umbrage with your case that for 30 years, he's never been in front of the licensing commission. Michael, could you tell me the dates?
Mr. Chair, through you, the burn was brought before the licensing commission 2 times in 2015. The first time was, give me just a moment to flip through the document here. Thank you for your patience. The first time was, excuse me, one time, I correct myself, on October 8th, Mr. Thomas McCarthy received a letter for a notice of hearing for a similar show cause hearing based on an assault on the premises.
Once, Dennis, 10 years ago. So what we try to do is our homework here on our side to make sure we have the facts correctly. Once in 10 years, is that catastrophic for the license holder? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it's the aggregate of the number of things that are being brought in front of us. So I don't want to argue point by point. I want to tell Tom he's a well-respected member of the community. He runs a great institution, but it's come to our attention and we're going to have to address it. So I'm sorry for the long-winded point by point.
Thank you.
Would you like me to make a recommendation, gentlemen?
Please.
Okay. Michael, if you could confirm for me, they have a 2 a.m. closing, correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
And then by my quick analysis on a lot of the reports, it appears as though it's happening after 11 p.m. that night. Okay, a lot of these things are happening after the legitimate things that are happening within the burn, not out on the sidewalk, not somebody having a car accident, not somebody trip and fall. So what I'd like to do is just to have this on the record that what I'd like to do is put a closing hour of 11 p.m. for 3 months, held in abeyance, and we'll take a look at it again. No incidents, no more assaults, no more stings by the ABCC. That incident, by the way, Attorney Quilty, my understanding when I read the report was that wasn't just one underage. I believe they were cited for 11 individuals being underage. So I'm trying to help here. I'm not trying to punish, but I've got to send a message. Tom,
Can I speak? Honestly, if we closed at 11 o'clock, I would not be able to pay the bills here and pay the rent. I mean,
no, Tommy, I'm holding it in abeyance, meaning I'm suspending that for 3 months. We're not gonna close you down at 11 o'clock. What I'm saying is, if I get another report of an assault within or something else catastrophic happens, I've got to be on record that we address this thing with a potential consequence. So
what you're saying for the next 3 months, if there's no incidents,
it goes away.
goes away. Okay.
Attorney Quilty, your thoughts? Because that's what I'm going to recommend to the commissioners.
And I can explain to Mr. McCarthy, what that entails. And make determinations based upon, your decision tonight.
Mr. McCarthy, with all due respect, do not overserve, do not serve under 21. And if you need SPD to break up a fight, call SPD. don't put your employees at risk down there. And, you know, no one wants to go into a place that has a reputation. What I'm trying to say to you tonight is, don't let this go any further. Right? Just work with us. We want you staying in Somerville until I have to be wheeled in to the borough. All right?
Yeah, well, you know, we're going through here at the moment with some developer wants to come and knock us down, but hopefully that won't happen.
Understood, but you know, developers talk a big game until they come to the realization that they may not get what they want. I'm not gonna say any more about that. Can I make a motion, gentlemen? I make a motion for 11 PM closing for 3 months, held in abeyance, pending no further major incidents. Attorney Quilty, you're gonna ask me what a major incident is. That is determined by the commission. So we get, you know, five calls for something outside of the barn in front of it at the address. That's not what we're gonna be considering. But that's the motion on the floor.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all 3 commissioners in the affirmative. Mr. McCarthy and staff of the borough, please don't take it as a punishment. Take it as, we're trying to keep you out of the public eye. I don't like calling any of the licensees in front of us for these types of hearings.
Mr. Chairman, I just asked, will there be a written order of this vote?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Michael will send that both to the licensee, and if you want a copy, Michael, just if you can copy
Yes,
Attorney
I'd
Dennis.
like that, please. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you,
Mr.
everybody.
Chair, members of the commission, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda. Next item on the agenda is item number 4. This is for the Compass Group. USA Inc., DBA Capital One Cafe. This is a recall from the February 18th hearing. There were no show. Is the applicant present?
If you are the applicant here on this item, please raise your hand. I do see who I believe, there we go. You are unmuted on our end.
Okay.
Hi, if you could just identify yourself for the record, please.
Hello,
Matt.
my name is Matthew Hoff, and I'm an
Welcome.
employee. Thank you. How are you guys?
Very good. Commissioner Allen, why don't you take this one over?
Absolutely. Tell us what you're applying for here today.
Yeah, I'm applying for a common victualer's license. We are kind of a victim of a computer glitch, is from what my understanding is, and it's something we applied for before. We are still in business and continuing to run business. We run food and beverage for Capital One Cafe in Assembly Row at 425 Revolution Drive.
For about 4 years now, 5 years?
I've been about 2 years. I've been
Okay.
so with Compass Group took over about 2 years ago.
Understood. Thank you. Coffee, pastries.
Correct.
Understood. Chairman Lynch, any questions?
No, Matt, just to verify, Monday through Friday, 6:30 AM to 7 PM. Saturday, 8 AM to 7 PM. Sunday, 9 AM to 5 PM. And you're proposing 60 seats indoors.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Commissioner Thomas.
Sure. A quick question on the 60 seats that are slated to be indoors. Any issues the past 2 years with accessibility?
In terms of, yes. What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Matt, your volume seems to have been turned way down.
Sorry. Is that better?
No.
Crazy technology.
Okay, good. I think the applicant is asking, can you explain what you mean by
Yeah.
accessibility?
Yes, please.
Oh, my apologies. So I can take a wheelchair and go in there without any issue and do a 360.
Correct. Yes.
And find a
Absolutely.
seat to sit down without any issue.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Before we take a vote, anything else that you'd like to say?
No, just
Great.
we love being part of the community and welcoming everyone in. We had fire captain in today to take a look as well.
Good stuff. Great. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. All right, well, you are now on the straight and narrow paperwork approved path. Thanks for being part of Somerville. Thanks for the free little toys you give my kid all the time.
Oh, we love it. Thank you very much, and we look forward to having you guys visit the cafe.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you, Matt. You want
Bye
to keep going?
Let's keep it going. Next up, existing common victualler license, alteration of premises. We've got Modelo Butcher Market, Inc., DBA Modelo Butcher Market, 501 Medford Street, requesting approval of an alteration of premises. Current indoor seats going from current 16 to proposed 24. Is the applicant present?
If you are the applicant or representative of the applicant, go ahead and raise your hand in the Zoom lobby. If you are here on behalf of Modelo and you're here on these in the Zoom lobby, could you please go ahead and raise your hand? Mr. Chair, not seeing a hand raised.
All right, we'll continue that to the end of the meeting. Moving on to number 6, existing marijuana establishment license, change of hours. Sierra Naturals, Inc., DBA AYR, 240 Elm Street, requesting approval of a change of hours. Current hours, Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proposed hours, Sunday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Is the applicant present?
I see two hands raised. You are both unmuted on our end.
Good afternoon or good evening. Chair Lynch, Commissioners, and Mr. Polter, my name is Juan Packnett. I have worked in government relations. Can you hear me?
Yes, Juan, sorry, we had somebody else that had their mic open. Go ahead.
Okay. In government relations, external affairs for Sierra Naturals, doing business as AIR for 5.5 years, and it's great to see you guys again. Sierra Naturals, Inc., doing business as AIR, is located 240 Elm Street. That's at the corner of Elm and Chester, and is a co-located facility with 2 licenses. A medical license granted in 2017, an adult use license in November 2022. And we are here tonight requesting a change in our hours that will apply to both licenses. Our current hours are Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we are proposing extending our closing time by 1 hour to 11 p.m. on weekends. Our new hours would be Sunday to Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Thursday through Saturday, that is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And our reasoning for this is that we, in this kind of economic times that we're going through, that we want to be flexible to, as the number of cannabis dispensaries grows, to allow us to change and have flexibility to accommodate the community and customers as we all adapt to the fluctuations in the economy generally and to local cannabis industry regulations in particular, things that are going on and changes the CCC is undergoing in Massachusetts. Our retail staff has documented that our business picks up later in the day, and as it gets busy, especially on weekends, we want to allow a decompression time towards closing, especially for our medical customers who may need consultation. So they are not rushed should they enter into the store around 9:50, 10 minutes to 10, and having to make a decision. Our hours are comparable to local businesses in the area, and we have the same hours as the Goods, who we get along with very well, as a matter of fact, as one of our competitors. These are the reasons that we're looking to extend our hours, and we respectfully urge the licensee commissioners to approve our change of hours requests. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I think you hit all the high notes. In the time you've been open in a recreational capacity, any issues or infractions with the Cannabis Control Commission?
Not that I'm aware of, and at the store, not that I'm aware of, frankly, in the company, but not since we've been licensed here. Now I can go back and confirm that, but I'm not aware of any infractions with the CCC.
Understood, thank you. Commissioner Thomas,
No questions.
Sure. Chairman Lynch,
Dawn, good to hear from you again.
Good to see you again.
Just to confirm, your application that's in front of us tonight is for the recreational part of this only. Because
Okay.
we do not issue the medical dispensary license. So I would just have you confirm with the
Thank you for that.
CCC that you are extending it by an hour and that you.
Thank you.
Well, you're, let me put it this way, Duan, you're gonna get your additional hour, so, on the recreational side. But I would just advise you to inform the CCC, of your hours of operation for the medical as well, okay?
Thank you. No,
Yep.
thank you for reminding us of this. Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have.
thank you. Anything else that you'd like to say before we move to a vote?
So if this is granted this evening, when can we start using the hours? Friday, by any chance?
Michael,
Mr. Chair, through you, tomorrow.
tomorrow, Duan.
Okay, thank you so much. I will sit back and be quiet now. Thank you.
That's
With that,
it.
yeah, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, ayes carried. Thank you for coming before us today.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
Thank you, Duan.
All right, keeping on
You
trucking.
want to let Commissioner Thomas?
I'll let him have some of the glory.
Come on, Commissioner Thomas. I don't want you falling asleep over there.
Next segment, we're moving on to special alcohol licenses. First up is item number 7, St. Anthony's Parish, 12 Paparazzi Way in Somerville. They are requesting the approval of a special alcohol license, all forms, for Bali de Mer Mother's Day to be held indoors at 12 Paparazzi Way on 5/10/2025 from 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. requesting alcohol service. Is there anybody representing St. Anthony's Parish on the line?
If you are here representing St. Anthony's in these 2 items, please go ahead and raise your hand. Oh, here we go. I see a hand raised. You are unmuted on our end.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, welcome.
Hi, good evening to all.
Yeah, if you could state your name for the record, please.
My name is Newton Pereza.
Newton Perez, thank you for coming in tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about the Mother's Day? Did I pronounce that right? The Bali de Mer?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Say it again?
A little bit about the event for that day.
Oh,
Number of people,
so
etc.
we're gonna have about 200 people, 300 people.
All indoors.
Perfect. And this will be all indoors, right?
Yes, it is indoor.
Yep.
Hours.
And we're confirming the hours from 8 p.m. till 1 a.m. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Perfect. And I'll move it over to Commissioner Allen.
Great,
Any questions?
yeah, just a question for Captain Sheehan. For an event this size, do you require a detail?
Yes, we do.
Great, to the applicant, please be in touch with the Somerville Police Department to arrange detail for this.
Yes, we're gonna have a police detail.
Perfect, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nilton, where are you getting, are you purchasing from an approved wholesaler, right? That's where you get your liquor.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, no other questions?
No.
Perfect. I would make a motion to approve.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Newton, and have a great event.
Stay with me.
Well, we're staying with you, Newton, I believe. Item number 8.
Yes, I am.
Perfect, thank you. Again, St. Anthony's Parish, 12 Paparazzi Way in Somerville. They are requesting the approval of a special alcohol license, all forms, for Fiesta Juna 2025. This is to be held outdoors at 12 Paparazzi Way in the parking lot area. This event will take place on 6/21/2025 from 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. Newton, can you tell us a little bit about this event?
This event we have been doing for over 30 years. And this is we have huh? This is a tradition of Brazilian community here. And
Well,
It's the June festival.
yeah. No, and thank you so much for choosing Somerville for this event. This is wonderful. 30 years is not 30 days. So it's very much appreciated that you're carrying this tradition on. Mr. Chair, any further questions?
No, Neilton, this one
Yeah.
is in the parking lot as well,
yes,
and from 4 PM to 11:30 PM.
we would like to change the time if possible to 2 p.m. to 11.
Okay, I'm gonna look to the clerk. Do we have any issues with 2 to 11?
Mr. Chair.
We'll make the change here, Neilton.
I
Okay,
appreciate it. Thank you.
you're welcome. And how many people on this event?
Well, that is a bunch of people. We're expecting like people come and go because it start early. Usually, like a family go early. Like that's the why we start early this year. We usually be 4 to 11:30, but this year we would like to start early. And
Because they want it more like a family event in the afternoon.
yes,
Okay, and how many people do you think are gonna be in and out during the day? 300, 500?
it's more than that.
Yeah,
It's usually about 1,000 people.
okay. Captain Sheehan. Police detail?
Yes, we would, for that size of an event, I see here that they were gonna requesting 2 police officers. That's adequate for us.
Very good. All right, Neil, I'm sorry, Michael, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, apologies. I do see a hand raised from Captain Richardson as well.
Okay, Captain Richardson.
Same.
Neilton, hold on one second. We got another liaison wants to say something. Captain Richardson.
Can you hear me okay? I don't think request would be that we had a fire detail for the medical purposes. Just in
Got
case.
it. Okay, Neilton, make sure you talk to Michael and get your application in for both police detail and for fire detail for that big event, okay?
Okay, I will with Michael. Okay,
Very good.
thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, all set. So I would like to make
Me.
oh, sorry.
my apologies. Moving over to Commissioner Allen with any further questions.
Thank you. Just to follow up as well, will you be having food preparation outside with big flame and tents?
Did you could you ask it again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you cooking food outside with grills and flames under tents?
We some yes.
Okay, the follow-up there is gonna be Captain Richardson. Are you gonna be checking that out? Is that on your radar?
Right.
Perfect.
Also need permits, not so much for the tents, if they're small enough, but definitely for the grills, whether it be propane or charcoal. We have rules for that and permits for that.
Perfect. Please be in touch with them and make sure that that's all properly permitted before the event. That's all that I had.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner Allen. With that said, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. Newton, wish you a great event. Thank you for coming
so
in.
much.
Thank you, Neilton. Have good events.
Thank you all. I invited to go there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who wants to keep going? Warehouse 11. 1, 2, 3, 3 applications. Anybody?
I'm here. All right, coming up next, Warehouse 11 Sanborn Court, requesting approval of a special alcohol license, wine and malt for music at WXI to be held indoors at 11 Sanborn Court on 3/16, 3/18, 3/21, 3/22, 23, from 6:30 PM to 11:30 PM. Is the applicant present?
I do see a hand raised in the Zoom lobby. You are unmuted from our end.
Hello, good evening. This is Carrie Dahl, representing Warehouse 11.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Give us a little spiel on what you've got planned.
We just have community music events on these dates. The 22nd is actually a wedding, and just typical to what we do every event that we have.
Fair enough. Purchasing your alcohol from a licensed distributor,
Yes, I'm a Fokker.
being served by tips or serve safe employees. Excellent. Do you all wristband?
Depending on the event, yes. A
Depending on
wristband
the
or
event.
stamp.
Okay, makes sense. Great. Commissioner Thomas.
No questions.
Great. Chairman Lynch.
No questions.
Excellent. Anything else before we vote?
Mm,
Now I'll take that as a no.
Nope.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. I'm gonna keep on trucking right to the next one. Also
All right.
Warehouse 11 Sanborn Court, Warehouse 11 Music. These for the set of dates 3/8, or 3/28, 4/3, 4/4, 4/6, and 4/8, from 7 PM to 11 PM. All right, how do these differ from the prior ones? Also state your name for the record.
It's Carrie Dahl again, representing Warehouse 11. These events are exactly the same as the previous events bar the wedding.
Okay, just to confirm, it's intentional that you've shifted the start and end times forward half an hour?
Yes.
Okay, great. Commissioner Thomas,
No questions.
still nothing. Chairman Lynch?
No questions.
Excellent. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And last but not least for you, Warehouse 11 Sanborn Court, requesting approval of a special alcohol license, wine and malt for music at Warehouse to be held indoors at 11 Sanborn Court on 4/10, 4/11, 4/17, and 4/18, from 7 PM to 11 PM.
Correct. Again, this is Carrie Dahl representing Warehouse 11. Covering
More
my
the same.
bases.
There you go.
And what's this one for?
Yeah, what are these ones for?
Again, community music events.
Right? I guess this might be one for the clerk. How did these come in as separate events? Because I know with some applicants, we've been able to do them all as one.
Mr. Chair, through you, excuse me, Mr. Commissioner, through you, I'm not sure. When I looked and saw the different times, it did occur to me that they were intentionally separate. They also do have different names. So that's why I left them as independent individual items.
I appreciate you no, that seems fair. I appreciate it. All right, Commissioner Thomas,
No further questions.
Chairman Lynch.
No questions.
Excellent. Do I have a motion to
Make a
approve?
motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you. Have a great series of music events and one singular wedding.
Thank you very, very much.
Great. Moving on to late items. We've got a new common victualler license for Imadaline Darabala, DBA Crispy Chick, 288A Broadway, requesting approval of a common victualler license. Proposed hours of operation, Monday through Sunday, 10 AM to 10 PM with 8 indoor seats. Is the applicant present?
I do believe I see the applicant. A hand is raised. You are now unmuted on our end.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Imaruddin Derbala. I'm representing Crispy Chick at 288 Broadway.
Great. Thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us a little bit about your proposed restaurant?
My restaurant is going to be serving mostly fried chicken, fried tender, chicken wings for takeout or eat-in. It's only a small seating area, which it can seat 8 people.
Yep. What's your history in the restaurant industry?
35 years experience from general manager to big chains like Domino's, McDonald's, and then after that to owning, actually I own right now 5 restaurants. One of them is right next door, which is Alfredo Italian Kitchens.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Opening it up, Chairman Lynch, any questions for the applicant?
No, I thought I recognized the name. How's Alfredo's doing?
It's doing well. Business is down like everywhere else, but we surviving.
But you're expanding too. Good for you.
Yes, it's just right next door. So just like in the building, we really don't like to see an empty building in the city of Somerville too. So, and that building, it's 2 doors down and been empty for a short while. So we figure we love serving people of Somerville.
Well, congratulations. As long as you don't tell my doctor I'm ordering fried chicken. So I have no other questions.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll keep it a secret.
Once again, thank you for choosing Somerville. Could you give an overview of the seating inside?
The seating, it's countertop seating. It's like a bar stools. There's no tables. It's probably like 6 or 8 seats. It can fit in there just for a quick eating, not for really like dining or sitting in for a long time.
Understood. Thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Great. With that, do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes carry. Excellent. Well, congratulations on your expansion. Looking forward to giving it a shot.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 13, Rolling Rose Mobile Bar, issue a special alcohol license, 52 Pollard Road, Plaistow, New Hampshire, requesting approval of a special alcohol license, wine and malt, for Bunnies and Blooms to be held indoors at Warehouse 11 Sanborn Court on 3/30/25 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. as alcohol service. Is the applicant present?
Mr. Commissioner, I see the applicant and there's a hand raised. You are unmuted on our end.
Hi, hello.
Yes, welcome. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Gina Ortega, representing Rolling Rose Mobile Bar.
So what is Bunnies and Blooms?
So it's like a spring fling event, kind of kickoff to springtime that I was asked to do. It's a bunch of vendors coming into Warehouse 11. There'll be a lot of activities for younger kids, and they asked me to come in and serve champagne to all the moms and parents coming.
Great, thank you. Will you be wristbanding, stamping?
So I know that this is a ticketed event, so the girls who are running it are selling tickets prior to the event. So
Okay.
it is a ticket only event. I do check IDs, obviously, with every drink I do serve.
Great, thank you. Purchasing your liquor from a licensed distributor?
Yes, MS Walker.
Great, not bringing it across state lines?
No, I'll have it delivered prior. I know, I'm all the way up here.
Good stuff, thank you. Commissioner Lynch, any questions?
No, but Jenna, could you just, for my own information, is the mobile bar part of this? Is this just a marketing thing that you have, or do you actually have a vehicle that has a bar in it?
So I do have a camper that is converted into a bar, but I won't be bringing the camper to this event. I'll just be bringing my small bar cart.
And what do you have up in New Hampshire? I'm not that familiar. Do you have like, what, a caterer's license or something that you're able to do that?
No, so it's the same process. I do a lot of Massachusetts events when I do these events for the public. I do have to apply for the one-day special license, but mostly I do private weddings where I don't need to apply for any licenses because booze is supplied by the clients and not by me. So I'm just a bartending service for those private events that I do.
Okay, that was just for my own information. No other questions.
Yeah, no, it's a funny business, but it works. Oh.
Thank you. Commissioner Thomas?
No questions.
Great. Anything else before we move to a vote? That's a negative. All right, all those in favor, do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes carry. Excellent. Congratulations. Good luck with bunnies and balloons.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
There you go. Moving on to item number 14, special farmer winery license, Bliss Point Meadery, 1 Fox Run Road in Bedford, requesting the approval of a special farmer winery license to be held outdoors at the Union Square Farmers Market, 66 to 70 Union Square on Saturdays, beginning 5/10/25, ending 10/25/25, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is the applicant present?
Mr. Commissioner, I do see the applicant. You are unmuted on our end.
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
This is Jeff Venuti. I'm the owner of Bliss Point Meadery. We are applying for the Farmers Market Winery license to participate in the Union Square Farmers Market for our 3rd year.
I was gonna guess 4, I was off by 1, but been seeing you out there for years now. I have no questions. Commissioner Thomas,
No questions for Chair.
Chairman Lynch.
No questions. Good to hear you back, Jeff.
All right, thank you, commissioners.
Yeah, excited to have you back out there. Excited for summer to be coming. Do I have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve, second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll see you out there when it's sunny.
All
and
right.
hot again.
Great. Have a nice night, commissioners.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jeff.
And the last item,
Number 5.
Commissioner, I do see a hand raised.
all right, picking up again, item number 5, Modelo Butcher Market, Inc., DBA Modelo Butcher Market, 501 Medford Street, requesting approval of an alteration of premises from 16 to 24 for their common victual license. Is the applicant present?
I do see a hand raised. You are unmuted on our end.
Hi, I'm Joe De Souza, owner of Modelo Market.
Great, thank you. Could you tell us a little bit about why you're modifying the premise?
We now serving breakfast and step on Saturdays and Sundays for the familiar residents of the neighbors.
I'm sorry, you're fading. Could you speak up?
Yeah, so we are serving our breakfast and over the weekend, serve the neighbors, and most of the time is the more than people than we have enough seats, so only 16 seats, and sometimes we have about 20, 22, even like 24 altogether. So that's the reason we request, to raise the seats.
Understood, thank you. Commissioner Thomas, any questions for the applicant?
No questions, Commissioner.
Great, Chairman Lynch?
Joe, I'm glad you're increasing the seating. It's always crowded when I walk by.
Thank you.
No other questions.
Excellent. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes.
I do see a hand raised from Captain Richardson.
Captain Richardson.
Oh,
Apologies for that.
oh, no. Thank you.
Okay,
Flagging.
I just want to say again that we stopped by early today. We have some things that we've got to take care of for the inside of the place. If the owner wants to give me a call at fire prevention, we can go over what those are.
Okay, we'll shoot, Michael will shoot a quick email off to Joe DeSouza in the morning, just requesting they contact you directly.
Thank you.
Perfect, and we'll approve that. We've approved that here today, but you will need to get sign off from the fire department before it takes effect.
Captain Richardson, we normally do not issue the license until everyone signs off anyway. Okay,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Joe. I think we are at the end of the agenda for Captain Sheehan and Captain Richardson. Thank you so much for your assistance tonight. Anything else, Michael, that we have hanging out there?
No, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
the decision to the Burren, just make sure we get that out promptly. Commissioner Allen, anything else? One more thing, public announcement to all our outdoor dining establishments. April 1st, we begin allowing restaurants to go out into the public way. Please get your applications in. Michael, we haven't seen anything this year at all, right? Mainly just 1 or 2 that have passed by us.
Mr. Chair, through you, that is correct.
But
Okay.
that would only be new applicants.
Those are new applications, correct? Correct. So anybody who's going out into the street and you have an approval from the city clerk's office and the Somerville Licensing Commission, April 1st, we'll see you all out in the streets of Somerville. Hopefully no late snowstorm. There's no other matter in front of this commission. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
I
Meeting is adjourned. Good night, everybody.